Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tumeva Madhacha Pita Tvameva Tumeva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tumeva Vidyadravinam Tumeva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma Tumeva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma Tumeva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma. Om Amriteshwari Namah. We'll begin with a short meditation. Kindly sit comfortably and straight with your back as straight as possible. Slowly close your eyes. Try to bring your awareness by observing your breath. Breathing normally, but fully aware of each and every inhalation and exhalation that passes through your body. As you watch your breath, you will feel the relaxation also. And now we'll chant Om 3 times. As we chant Om, imagine the sound of Om to arise from your navel area and deep within you. And visualize the sound of Om rising upwards along your spine, cleansing your body, your mind, and as it comes out of the body, the atmosphere around you. Now kindly take a deep breath. Feel the reverberations of Om in each and every part of your body. Once again, bring your awareness back into your breath. And now as you breathe in, chant the mantra Ma silently along with your in-breath. When you exhale, when you breathe out, chant Om. Om and Ma are the representations of divine light and of divine love. When you chant Ma, breathing in, feel the love within your heart. You need not visualize love and light. Just feel love and light filling your heart. And when you chant Om, feel the light, divine light filling your heart slowly. So, Om and Ma. Ma when you breathe in and Om when you breathe out. Ma is divine love and Om divine light. Slowly and slowly, the reverberations of Ma and Om become more and more subtle. Instead of the physical sound of Ma and Om, just feel the vibrations of Ma and Om. Now feel your heart being filled with that love and light, bursting out with love and light. And your heart expanding like a beautiful bud that blooms into a beautiful flower and fragrant. Feel the love, the peace, the bliss and the light. Now visualize a ray of light going out from your heart to all the beings in this world, just like the rays of the sun. And as the light falls on each and every being, imagine they also become more loving, more peaceful, more content, and more blissful. And while visualizing so, let's chant the Loka Samasta prayer 9 times. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Dhyayamo Dhavlavakundhanavatim Tejomayim Nashtigim Snigdha Pangavilokinim Bhagavatim Mandasmidashrimukhim Valsalyamritavarshinim Sumadhuram Sankirtanalapinim Shamangim Madhusekta Suktim Amritanandatmikam Ishwarim Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parambaram Sruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Logashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavandau Punapunaha Ishwarau Guru Rakmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagini Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Amriteshwarye Namaha. In the last few sessions, we were discussing about the ninefold bhakti discipline specific to bhakti. The first one being Shravanam, or hearing the narratives of the Lord. And the second one is Kirtana, which is chanting His name and reciting hymns in praise of Him. And Smaranam is the third, remembering continuously the Lord. And Padaseva, worshipping Him. Archana, paying obeisance to Him or doing kind of pujas. And Vandanam means practicing servitude to Him. And Dasyam is befriending Him. And Dasyam is practicing servitude to Him. And Vandanam is paying obeisance to Him. Sakhyam is befriending Him. And finally, Atmanivedanam is total surrender to the Lord. And last time we were looking at the Archana, which is known as puja, honoring the god in a particular sense with offerings of pure ingredients according to rituals laid out in the scriptures. And we were saying that the worship in other religions are not the same as in Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma has always a image, a symbol, and this in most of the other religions don't have that. And why is it Sanatana Dharma having this kind of an image? Amma was explaining this the other day. Amma said it was very easy for us to relate to a person or a name or a form. And if you think about the formless aspect of the divine, and just close your eyes and think about your formless aspect. And after some time, the mind drifts off, right? And what is, then the question comes into your mind, what is God? Is it with a form, without a form? So Amma said it is with form as well as formless. And the form is only assumed only to help us to relate to the God, and because it's much easier, just like a ladder which takes up higher. And whereas the formless aspect, of course, is the ultimate part of it, and as Vedanta says, but just beginning with the formless aspect cannot benefit most of us. And so also, as I said, when you think about the formless aspect, after some time, you become disappointed, and also you feel that, why are you wasting your time, because nothing is happening. And so whereas with the form, we can at least feel that devotion, the bhakti, right from the beginning onwards. And also I was saying that when we talk about archanam, that is puja, this archanam or puja, the worship, has become corrupted because there's too many rituals now without any sense, devotional sense, nor does it have any meaning. And I remember, if you remember, that last time I was talking about this priest who had a son who, when he ordered all the puja items, he had a cat and a basket because his father used to have that. And so the rituals are like that, without, we are following many of the rituals being followed meaninglessly, and the mantras chanted without heart and without love. So, like if you go to temples, you'll see these priests. Again, I'm not, blaming them, but just please do understand, because they are doing it for livelihood and as a means of livelihood. So when you come, Om Pranaya Swam, Pranaya Swam, Om Srimatre Nama, Sri Maharatni Nama, Sri Maharatni, see, they wanted to complete the mantras as soon as possible, and in between they are looking at everybody and who is bringing money and who is not giving money, and all these things. And especially in other parts of India, other than Kerala, I don't know whether it's now getting slowly into Kerala also. Whenever somebody comes, they will do a arati, and then they give you the arati tray so that you can put money. So that is the whole intention. So these rituals are becoming meaningless, or will become meaningless, when it is done without any intention and without love and bhakti. So, but whereas, as I was saying last time, when Lord Krishna said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, So that is in Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna says that if a devotee offers tulsi leaf, flower, fruit, or water to me, I accept that offering with great satisfaction, providing it is an offering of love and devotion. We have the famous story of this saint called Kannappan. As some of you know that he was a tribal person and he used to live in the forest. So whenever he used to go hunt and come back, there was a Shivalinga temple there. And he used to offer some pieces of the meat to the Lord. And he would keep it. And every day he would do that. And the priest got so irritated because most of the time, it happens when he's gone. And when he came back, he saw this meat sitting, and he was just throwing it out and saying, "What a stupid thing!" It's and then it's totally against all the rituals, and not only that, it is polluting the divine atmosphere and all these things. And finally, the story of Kannappan goes like that, one day when he went and he saw the Shivalingam, there are two eyes in the Shivalingam. One of the eyes, there was blood coming out. And so Kannappan, took out his eye and put it on the Shivalingam. And then the other eye also disappeared, so he had to take the other eye. And he did not know, once he takes out the eye, he wouldn't know where to do it. So with his leg, he pointed to the place where he has to place the eye. Then he plucked his other eye and put it, and then Lord Shiva appeared in front of him because of his bhakti, his devotion. So that is the story. So this is the essence. With whatever you offer, with love, and that's the Lord says that is the most dearest to me. There is also another story in Mahabharata, and it also describes or depicts the greatness of doing Manasa Puja. Manasa Puja means doing it mentally, offering these things mentally. And one may ask this question, isn't it doing physically more effective than doing mentally? So most of the times, Amma says it's mental puja, mental worship is more effective, because when you're doing physically, you are, first of all, looking at those things and salivating, looking at the prasad and all the other things, and thinking, when am I going to eat it? And then the other thing is also, what happens is your concentration is weaving in and out, and especially when you see food. And so, when Manasa Puja, during mental worship, what happens is, you're doing it mentally and offering it to the Lord. And it's much more concentrated. That's why it's more effective. Give an example of this. There is a scene in Mahabharata when Arjuna was thinking that he was the greatest devotee of Lord Krishna. And the moment he had this thought, Arjuna had the thought, the Lord caught it. And he kept quiet for some time, and he invited Arjuna for a morning tea or a coffee. And while they were sipping the morning coffee, Arjuna saw truckloads or cartloads of flowers, offerings, milk, fruits, and all these sweetmeats, and all this coming into Lord Krishna's house. So he was perplexed, and because he thought he was the greatest devotee who gave everything to Lord Krishna. So he asked Lord Krishna, what is this? How come there are so many things coming to you? So he said, that's your brother Bhima. And he is doing Manasa Puja. And whenever he does Manasa Puja, I get all these things. So it comes to my house. So that is the power of doing Manasa Puja. And it has more intensity than doing the physical worship. And it is said that there is also a form of puja which transcends all rituals. It is called seva or service. And here, rituals are discarded or reduced to a minimum, and the image is treated as a living being, near and dear to one, and served accordingly with bath, decoration, food, cloth, sleeping arrangements with great care and love. And the devotional schools founded by Vallabhacharya and Sri Chaitanya are noted for this form of puja. So they treat that the image or the object as a living being and serve the living being like that also. So the high water mark of puja is reached when the devotee begins to feel the presence of God everywhere and in everything. So that is, what shows the progress. Many ask, what is the result of doing all these things? How do I know I'm progressing or regressing? So that's what they are saying. When you see and feel the presence of God everywhere and in everything, that means you are progressing. You have reached somewhere. And most of us, when we see a person, first thing that goes is in our mind is, how is she or how is he dressed? And what is he or she wearing? And why is she or he wearing like this today? And, he's just showing off or she's showing off. And, there's so many criticisms and judgments that arise in our mind when we see a person. And that is what comes first. We don't see the divinity in that person. So that's why I was saying one of the highest watermark of puja is when devotees begin to feel the presence of God everywhere and in everything. So that's when the real seva or service happens. They serve everybody equally with the same amount of love. So that's what the height of the feeling, the presence of God within. And so this idea of elevating image worship into universal worship is conveyed in the following Bhagavata verse. That is, the Bhagavata verse says like this: just as by pouring water at the root of a tree, all its branches, leaves, etc. are nourished, and just as food eaten to sustain vitality strengthens all the senses, so also adorations of Achyuta is the adoration of all deities and of the whole universe. So he's saying that the next one is also, they say, what the watering of a tree at the root is to the branches of the tree, that the worship of Vishnu is to all beings, including oneself. So both these are corroborating that fact that, when you do puja, when you do this archana, it is to reach to that height where you see everyone as a reflection of the divine, including yourself. That's why. And then it's also like they're saying that whenever you do to Vishnu, understand that it's like pouring water at the root of the tree and not at the leaves. So it goes to every deity. So you don't have to call like 1,000 deities every day when you do puja. One deity is enough. And that also is a big misconception to many of the the Indian people who have followed the Sanatana Dharma, because Sanatana Dharma has 33 million gods and goddesses. So if you go to the puja room, you'll see the whole puja room is filled with photographs and idols of different deities, of different the objects like Shivalingam and all these things. But why? Because they will say, oh, when I start praying to first start praying to Ganesha, then won't Ganesha's father Shiva be offended? And now you pray to Shiva for some time. Now, and his wife, now Parvati is looking at me and she will get angry. So you pray to Parvati. And now Parvati, then how about Lakshmi? I want money. So it goes on and on. And so what happens is, if you understand that that's what they are saying in Bhagavata, if you understand, if you're doing to one deity, so they're just calling it name Vishnu, representation by Vishnu. And if you do puja to Vishnu, it will be like pouring water at the roots of the tree. And there is a tendency among some followers of the path of devotion to overemphasize the ritualistic side of worship and forget the fundamental Vedic doctrine that rituals and sacrifices without simultaneous honoring of Him in living beings is a perversion. So they will do puja. This what they are saying is they will do puja to all these objects, which are inanimate objects. But when a beggar comes and stands in front of their home, or a poor person comes, they won't take care of him. First of all, they will say, oh, I'm doing puja, I'm so busy. Just wait. Or the other thing is they will just, as Amma says in her song, after circumambulating the temple, when you come out, you kick the beggar. And so that is not the real puja. And seeing everything. In one of the great saints, I think his name is Eknath, what happened was he was doing puja, and one day as he was doing puja, a dog came and started taking the prasad. And the moment he opened his eyes and saw the dog, the dog got scared and started running away. So he started taking the whole, the plate of prasad and running after the dog, saying, oh God, please stop. Don't just take a little bit, take the whole thing. So he was looking at the dog as divine, as God. So just put it upside down. So he was looking at dog as God, whereas we look at God as a dog. So, he says that Bhagavadottama, or a perfect devotee, is one who sees the Atman in all creatures as an expression of the Supreme Spirit and all beings as dwelling in that Spirit. A mediocre devotee is one who entertains an attitude of adoring love towards God, or friendliness to his devotees, of kindness and sympathy to common people, and of indifference to enemies and bad people. And he is unregenerate devotee who performs the worship of God in images with faith and devotion, but is totally indifferent to the devotees of God and other beings. So they're talking about the three standards of devotees. The first one, they will be having faith and devotion, but they will be totally indifferent to the devotees of God and to other people. So that is the lowest one. The second one is the middle one, where they do the worship of God, yet they take care of the devotees of God, but not their enemies and bad people. But the highest one, they see everybody, including their enemies, bad people, inanimate objects, as well as animals as the manifestation of the divine. So to show the utmost importance that the Bhagavata gives to service of God in man as a part of his service in images, the following quotation will suffice. I abide in all beings as the innermost self. Without recognizing this, the mere worship of me in images is only a semblance of worship. If one disregards me, present in all as their soul and Lord, and offer worship to images, such worship is as ineffective as sacrificial offering made in ashes. So you're saying, worshipping God in images is only a semblance of worship. If one disregards the Lord present in all other beings and as their soul and Lord, and offer worship to such beings. So can you think about quotation of Amma, which will go along with this. Now I'll give you a clue. Amma talks about ants, right? What does she say? You need even the certificate of an ant to reach realization. Which means you have to understand that the Lord resides even in the tiniest insect like an ant as the soul of the ant. And a man who thus makes a clear-cut difference between worship and his worldly activities and lives a purely ego-centered life will be inimical to other beings and be thus persecuting me who reside in them. Such a person never attains to peace. If a man disregards and persecutes fellow beings but worships me in images with numerous rituals and rich offerings, I am not at all pleased by him by such worship. So you don't need any more explanation about that. A man, however, worships me in images along with the discharge of his duties towards all beings until he actually realizes my presence in himself and in all beings. So man should, however, worship like this, that he finally realizes the Lord in himself as well as in all beings. And as long as a man is self-centered and makes an absolute difference between himself and others, without recognizing their unity in me, the inner pervader of them all, he will be subject to great fear of death. So, overcoming the differences of self-centered life, one should serve all beings with gifts, honor, and love, with the recognition that such service is really being done to me who reside in all beings as their innermost soul. So it just means, when we talk about this, we can understand that how to get over the fear of death. How do you get over the fear of death? By just understanding that there is no difference between himself and others, and recognizing the unity. So what happens in that case? He goes beyond the body and he goes beyond the mind, and he perceives only the divinity in everyone and in himself also. And finally he understands that is Aham Brahmasmi, that I am the supreme Brahman, the being. And thus, when the body falls away, there is no fear. Then you don't feel sad because just your body fell away. It's like, as Amma says, changing your clothes or changing a shirt or a skirt, and you just take it off, throw it away, and wear another one. So it's as simple as that. So that's why Bhagavatam says that when you overcome the difference between yourself and the others, you will overcome death. And the next one is Vandana. Vandana literally means salutation. And in relation to the previous discipline of Archana, it takes the form of full prostrations before the image, signifying the complete surrender at the feet of the Lord. And so the word is also used to indicate the various ways in which one greets others, according to their status, by bending down, kneeling, joining the palms, etc. But in the devotional sense, it means honoring the presence of the deity in an image or in any person or thing. And in the Bhagavata tradition, the scope of Vandana extends far beyond the precincts of the temple. A devotee is to understand that the whole of nature is ensouled by the divine, and he should therefore salute him in all directions and in all things. So while Vandana is based on ritualism, it transcends its limits and gets changed into the practice of the presence of the divine in everything. And in practical life, a devotee is to recognize the dignity of all individuals, high and low, and behave with them accordingly. Here, as in Padaseva, devotional discipline seeks to dominate the sphere of human relationship. So, Vandanam means prostrations. So, this is what we do whenever we see a divine object or a divine image. When we do this, do you know when Amma does this? Every time she comes up and sits, before she sits on the stage, she does that to all of us. Because why? She's not doing it to a particular deity, but to us. And she's not seeing a divine image. I mean, of course, we are, in one sense, for our sake, from our plane, we have not reached that divinity, right? We are all human beings with our negativities, negative tendencies, and also the positive tendencies. But what Amma perceives is only the divinity. That's why she prostrates every time. And whenever she touches a book, you can see that during bhajans. And after that, when she gets up also, she prostrates to everyone. And when she leaves, also she does that. And Amma says that, when she was young, she was trained to touch everything when you put the feet upon, especially like books or even money. And if you see coins lying on the floor and you inadvertently stepped on it, then you're supposed to take it and put it in your eyes and ask for forgiveness and keep it down. Why? Because they are all holy things. So the prostration, they are saying, the prostration does not limit to just a holy personage or a holy image or a holy object. All of nature. Saying all of nature. And that's why in Sanatana Dharma, when you get up in the morning, the first thing you are asking is for forgiveness. Right? Shanti was saying that last time, that Samudravasane Devi, Parvadasthane Mandale, Vishnupatti Namastubhyam, Shamaswame, Padasparshanam. That is, I'm going to step on you, oh Mother Earth, please forgive me. So that's how you start your day. And when especially for when you do the morning, the Brahmins are supposed to do their rituals. Every morning, it is called Sandhya Vandanam, and morning, afternoon, and evening. But not now. Many people do that. But when they finish, they are supposed to turn around to all four directions and salute all the beings in all four directions, and finally prostrate completely. So this is the essence of that. But most of the people just do it mechanically, not understanding. So that's why, bhakti with knowledge is very important. If you just practice bhakti alone and just knowledge alone, it will not be sufficient. It will not suffice. And if you want really to enjoy and do it with so much of love and with reverence, you need both bhakti and knowledge. When I was given the holy thread, we call it punul, and mockingly we call it also unul. Unul means the thread that gives you food, because when you go to certain functions, only Brahmins are allowed, and what they do is they will come and put a hand on your shoulder and pat you, and you think it's so loving. They are so loving. No, but they are searching for this holy thread and looking whether you have it or not. And if you don't have it, then you get out. Or if you have it, then come in. And so, seeing all these things, I got so fed up. And I did not know what I was doing with all these things. Because I didn't have the knowledge, and nobody told me what Sandhya Vandanam means. And why should you do this? But later on, then when Amma told me about these things, and Amma made me realize, that's when I realized that I had lost so many years not doing it, because I just took the thread and threw it away and stopped doing all rituals. And so, but Amma says, even if you do it without proper love, proper bhakti, but even if you just do it without understanding, without proper knowledge, it has an effect. So that is the beauty of the Sanatana Dharma. So when you chant, when you get the thread, what happens is you have to chant the Gayatri mantra every day, at least 108 times. Morning, afternoon, and evening. And this Gayatri mantra is so powerful. And Amma says that that's why some of the Brahmins are very intelligent, because they used to chant the mantras so much. And that gave them the ability, the intellectual ability to understand much better sense than the others. Not that they were better than other people by caste, but the rituals gave them a higher sense of understanding, by which they had a different ability than other people. So these, as I was saying, this Pada Sevanam and all these things, even when we do it without proper knowledge, proper understanding, does have a benefit. So if one does it, even mechanically, we should just continue to do it. But nobody told me that. So that's why I stopped. And the next one is Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. So the three things are combined together. Dasyam, so the means cultivating the attitude of a servant of God. Then Sakhyam is a comrade or a friend. And Atmanivedanam is making a total offering of oneself to Him respectively. These attitudes of mind require a transformation of one's ego. While some of these attitudes or bhavas are too high for men ordinarily, that of a servant is somewhat natural, and every devotee has to practice it. And all these bhavas or attitudes of devotion are exemplified in the life of Sri Krishna and his relation with various devotees. So you know Dasyam, for an example, beautiful example, That is, means cultivating the attitude of a servant of God. Recently we celebrated his Jayanti, Hanuman. Hanuman was always like a dasya, a servant of God. And that is a beautiful example. Sakhya is one of the stark examples of Sakhya is Arjuna. He thought Lord Krishna was his friend, and he used to confide everything and just treat him like a friend. Until Lord Krishna showed him his universal form, and then he got scared, and that's when he realized, look who I was walking with all this time and treating as a friend. So, but the beauty about this is, all this will take us closer to God. So that's why, this we always say it should not be limited. None of these relationships should be limited and say that one is better than the other. So and each person will have different kind of relationships. I'll come back to that later. In worldly life, the ego, that's the Atma Nivedanam, what happens is when one has to offer oneself. That's the whole problem. And that's why, as Amma says, you will give anything except your ego. And chopping off the ego is like chopping off your head. And it's more painful than chopping off your head. And in the worldly life, the ego is totally body-centered. And one's worldly situation is what activates one's self-regarding instinct. And so to the extent that this ceases and is replaced by the sense of divine relationship, like I am the servant of the Lord, I am the child of God, or I am a playmate of God, or I am his sweetheart. To that extent, devotion may be said to have passed to its higher phases that have been described in the earlier part of this essay. So, Atma Samarpanam, or total dedication, is the summit of devotion. But it is present to some extent in all forms of these attitudes. It is, however, in the uncalculated and absolutely unselfish dedication of the Gopikas to Sri Krishna and his service that this attitude reaches its acme, and the Indian devotional tradition has therefore found in them the highest ideal of bhakti fulfilled. So the 10th skanda of Bhagavata depicts their devotional fervor in all its vividness, and this skanda is therefore looked upon as the innermost core of Bhagavata. So, we are getting an understanding of why this skanda is the most important of all of Bhagavata. Skanda means this chapter, particular chapter. In this one, as we can see, Dasyam, Sakhyam, and Atmanivedanam. So as we said, like the gopis had the same kind of affection or relationship with the Lord. And they had either the attitude that I am the servant of God, or I am the child of God, or I am a playmate of the Lord, or I am his sweetheart. So it's like I am the servant of God. When we see that there is other people who are, we can see in the life of Lord Krishna also. And then I am the child of the Lord. So we can see that the gopis had some of the, attitude like that. Then I am a playmate of the Lord. So many of the gopas, the men, and Sudama, the famous story of Sudama, his classmate. And he had that kind of attitude that I am the playmate, I am studying with Lord Krishna and the same class. And then finally, I am his sweetheart, which is Radha's love, the highest of all. And he's saying that this Bhagavata, the 10th chapter, describes all of this, and that's why It is the most important chapter. And we see this not in Bhagavata alone. Today, we see it in Amma, right? And many people come to her, and it's not a same kind of relationship. Most of us don't even look upon her as a guru and or divine being. And of course, I don't blame them, because they can't perceive the divinity in Amma unless Amma shows that. Oh, of course, we can see that a small portion of that during Devi Bhava, and which we will understand that she is divine. But the moment she changes her dress, then what happens? Back to normal. Talking to Amma and arguing with Amma and telling her what to do and what not to do. And we forget what she is telling us, and we have to listen very carefully to what she says also, because she is not imposing anything on us. She is not telling us, do this, do like that. You can do like this, or you can do this thing. So, but she gives hints. She drops hints when she is talking, right? And so, if we don't listen to that, then it's our problem, not hers. As one of my cousins who came to see Amma with me in the earlier days, when he heard that I was going with Amma to see Amma, he said, "Can I just join you?" So I said, "Okay." And then when we went, he did not ask anything. He was just looking at Amma. And then finally, when we were leaving, Amma told him, "Don't do what you are thinking of doing." So as we came out, he asked me, what does Amma mean like that? I didn't understand. So I said, in your mind, you are contriving about your future or something that you want to do in the future. That's what Amma is telling you about. Don't go in that direction. So later on only I found out that he was actually a mechanical engineer, and he had graduated from one of the best colleges. But then he wanted to become a film actor. And so he left all his profession and went to the movies. Maybe he acted in like 3 or 4 movies. And after that, his whole life went completely down. And in the end, he died like a street dog. Nobody was even taking care of him. So we can understand. We should understand when Amma says something. She's just giving us the guidance, but she's mentioning it so subtly that we don't really, at that time, it won't impress on us, because we don't realize that she can also see the future. She sees the past, she sees the present, and she sees the future also. And that's why she's saying like this. But most of the time, what happens is we don't. We just take it for granted, whatever Amma says, and then go away. But the most important thing, as I was discussing, is the relationship. And we have the good fortune to have that kind of a relationship with a great Mahatma, like Lord Krishna. And you imagine it was the gopis who got this great advantage and great blessing 5,000 years ago. So it's happening only like about 5,000 years after we are getting this opportunity. And who knows when we will get another opportunity. And so as I see, when sitting near Amma, I see that a lot of people come to Amma and relate to her in different ways. Some treat her as a mother, some as grandmother, some as a friend. And as you know, to most of the teenagers, Amma behaves like a friend. And Amma always talks to them in their terms and in that level. And she doesn't give any foo-foo advice. Do like this, do like that. Very practical things. And Amma just treats them like her friend. And when old people come, she treats them like her father or her mother. And younger people comes, she treats them accordingly in different ways. So each individual, that is the beauty of that relationship, is each individual has their own methodology to connect with Amma. And it need not be, mine is yours is another's. So we should not ever ridicule the fact that, somebody is not revering Amma as a friend or as a guru or as a great personage. So we have to understand that everybody has that kind of attitude. And ultimately it is for Amma to just draw them. And all it takes is just a second for Amma. Right? And all does is just within 1 second Amma can draw them. There's the story of a devotee, and he was from Tamil Nadu. He came to Amma, and then not thinking that Amma was a great saint or something like that, but when he came, he met Amma. He was a little bit impressed with Amma, and then he went back, and he was doing his business. He was a cloth merchant. He was doing his business, and he used to smoke cigarettes and all these things, and he was just having a worldly life. And a few months later, he was slowly getting transformed. So he went and asked Amma first, "Can I stop smoking? Will you help me to stop smoking?" So Amma said, "Okay, and try." And so a few months later, he stopped smoking. Then, when he came about 3 or 4 months later, he said, "Can I have a mantra?" So Amma said, "I'll give it to you next time." And the next time went on like 3 or 4 times. Next time. And finally, one day what happened is he came near Amma and said, "Amma, you're tricking me, so please give a mantra." So Amma said, "Okay, sit here." And then after the darshan was over, she just got up and left very quickly. And so the next time when he came, it was another 2 months later when he came, he just sat there and caught hold of Amma's feet and said, "You have to give me a mantra, otherwise I'm not going to let go of your feet." So finally Amma gave a mantra. And after giving Amma mantra, I think it was about 3 months later, there was a satsang program he organized in his town, and he was introducing the brahmachari, the speaker, and so he sat down and he started praying to Amma, saying that Om Amriteshwari, Om Mahadevi, and all these different names, and he kept on chanting. Finally, he kept on chanting Om Amriteshwari, and collapsed. And when people took him away, he was already gone, dead. And so later on, Amma said, "That's why I did not give him mantra. He would have died earlier. So that's why I did not give mantra to him." But you can just see, all it takes for Amma is 1 or 2 seconds. So we understanding this, good fortune, let's move forward. And we need, as in bhakti, that's what they say, in reverence to the Guru, you need both that closeness. You need that closeness and respect. Because if you have too much of respect, then you won't become close. You will always be afraid. You will stay back. But if you have too much of closeness, then respect goes away. So what happens is you need both that kind of a relationship with Amma and understanding that she is the manifestation of the divine. So unless and until these two go together, it won't happen, as I said, as quickly as possible. So we, understanding this next time, when we stand near Amma, but most, as I said, we often forget, and we just take her to be an ordinary human being. So as Amma herself says, like when she goes to the beach, she might be walking, but the brahmacharinis just push her and run and go to the beach, just hearing that. So let's understand. And as I said, give the proper respect, as well as let's have that personal relationship with Amma, which is the most divine opportunity that we have obtained and the greatest blessing of all. Om Amriteshwari Namah. Karuna Sindhu Bhairavi Amritanandamayi Devi
Karuna Sindhu Bhairavi Amritanandamayi Devi
Karuna Sindhu Bhairavi Amritanandamayi Devi Swarupinyai Satchidanandamurtaye Atma Ramagraganyaye Amriteshwariye Namo Namah.
Swarupinyai Satchidanandamurtaye Atma Ramagraganyaye Amriteshwariye
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते.
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि
नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव
त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वम् अमृतेश्वरी मा
त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वम् अमृतेश्वरी मा
त्वमेव सर्वम् अमृतेश्वरी मा
त्वमेव सर्वम् अमृतेश्वरी मा
शरणागत दीनार्थ परित्राणपरायणे सर्वसार्ति हरे देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते
शरणागतदीनाथ परित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्यातिहरे देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
श्रीमादा श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निगुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता
श्रीमाता श्रीमहारानी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
अमृतेश्वरि नमोस्तुते
करुणासिन्धु भैरवे अमृतानन्दमयि देवी
करुणासिन्धु भैरवी अमृतानन्दमयि देवी
करुणासिन्धु 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 भैरवे
करुणासिन्धु 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 भैरवी
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
पाहि गणन परमदयाकर सिद्धिविनायक स्वामी शिव पार्वती प्रियतनया गणनायक
मंगल शुभ सदना पाहि गजानन
परम दयाकर सिद्धि विनायक स्वामी शिव पार्वती प्रिय तनया गणनायक मंगल शुभ सदना।
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन।
शाश्वत नाद शरीर मनोहर श्री गणपति श्रीदपाला
शाश्वतनाद शरीर मनोहर श्री गणपति श्रीदपाला
श्वेतांबरधर चित्खन रूपा पादाम्बुजम् अभयम्
श्वेतांबरधर चित्खनरूपा पादाम्बुजमभयम्।
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन।
वंदित पादानंदित रूपा विघ्न विनायक देवा
वंदित पादानंदित रूपा विघ्न विनायक देवा।
मोदक हस्ता मोदक दायक मां पालय जगदीशा
मोदक हस्ता मोदक दायक मां पालय जगदीशा।
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन
जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन जय 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 गणनाथ गजानन।
सीताराम 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 बोल, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम बोल।
सीताराम सीताराम
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद मुकुंद माधव गोविंद नाम प्रभु का है सुखदाई,
नाम प्रभु का है सुखदाई।
पाप कटेंगे क्षण में भारी,
पाप कटेंगे क्षण में भारी।
पाप कटेंगे क्षण में भारी,
पाप कटेंगे क्षण में भारी।
राम की महिमा ऐसे बोल,
राम की महिमा ऐसे बोल,
राम की महिमा ऐसे बोल,
राम की महिमा ऐसे बोल।
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल,
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल,
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल।
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल।
सीताराम 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 बोल, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम बोल।
सीताराम 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 बोल, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम बोल।
शबरी अजामिल सब सुख पाई,
शबरी अजामिल सब सुख पाई।
नाम भजन से मुक्ति पाई,
नाम भजन से मुक्ति पाई।
नाम भजन से मुक्ति पाई।
नाम भजन से मुक्ति पाई।
नाम की महिमा ऐसे बोल,
नाम की महिमा ऐसे बोल,
नाम की महिमा ऐसे बोल,
नाम की महिमा ऐसे बोल।
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल,
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल,
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल।
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल।
बजरे मन तो कृष्ण मुरारी,
भजरे मन तू कृष्ण मुरारी।
नडन कर गिरिधर बनवारी,
गिरिधर बनवारी।
नडन कर गिरिधर बनवारी।
गिरिधर बनवारी।
कृष्ण रसामृत जीवित बोल,
कृष्ण रसामृत जीवित बोल,
कृष्ण रसामृत जीवित बोल।
कृष्ण रसामृत जीवित बोल।
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल,
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल,
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल।
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल।
सीताराम 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 बोल, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम बोल।
सीताराम 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 बोल, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम बोल।
सीताराम 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 बोल, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम बोल।
सीताराम 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 बोल, राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम बोल।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल,
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल,
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल।
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल।
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल।
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल
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 सीताराम 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 बोल
सीताराम 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 बोल
सीताराम 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 बोल
सीताराम 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 बोल
राधेश्याम 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 बोल
राधेश्याम 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 बोल
राधेश्याम 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 बोल
राधेश्याम 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 बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल
मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल सीताराम 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 बोल राधेश्याम 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 बोल जननी आनंद शमनी आलोल नयने प्रेमार्ग हृदये पूर्णेन्दु वदने पीयूष निलये आनंद जननी
आनंद शमनी आलोल नयने
जय मां
प्रेमार्ग हृदये पूर्णेन्दु वदने पीयूष निलये
मामा जय जय 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 मामा जय जय
जय जय मामा 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 जय जय
मनमोहनांगी मदिदासीले मृति जन्म रहिते मणिपूर निलये मृदुरम्य वचने मधुवर्ष निरते मधुवर्ष निरते
मनोहरांगी मदिदारशीले हृदि जन्म रहिते
जय
मणिपूर विलये मृदुरम्य वचने मधुवर्ष निरते मधुवर्ष निरते
करुणैक निलये सुरवन्द्य चरणे कविगीत चरिते मा कैवल्य सदने काव्यादिरसिके कामेश दयिदे मा कामेश दयिदे मा शैलजाते हृदयेशि दुर्गे हेरम्बजननी विश्वैकवन्द्ये वेदान्तवेद्ये वाग्देवी वरदे मा वाग्देवी वरदे मा जननी आदर्य शमने गालोलनयने मा प्रेमार्द्र हृदये पूर्णेन्दु वदने पीयूष निलये मा जय मा Mama, jai jai 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 mama.
अमृतेश्वरी मङ्गलम् प्रणमदा मुक्तिप्रदे मङ्गलम् भुवनेश्वरी मङ्गलम् सुकृतिना एकाश्रये मङ्गलम् अमृतेश्वरी मङ्गलम् प्रणमदा मुक्तिप्रदे मङ्गलम् भुवनेश्वरी मङ्गलम् सुकृतिना एकाश्रये मङ्गलम् हृदयेश्वरी मङ्गलम् हृदिलसद्देजोमयी मङ्गलम् मृदुभाषिणी मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमागृहे मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमागृहे मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमागृहे मङ्गलम्. जननी
गम गम गायिनी मनलयकारिणी अमृतानंदमयी सददं मम हृदि वसना देहि अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी पदिदोद्धार निरंतर हृदये अमृतानंदमयी परमहंस पद निलये देवी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी हे जननी जनि मरण निवारिणी अमृतानंदमयी हे श्रुत जन परिपालिनी जयदा अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी सुरजन पूजित जय जगदम्बा अमृतानंदमयी सहज समाधिषु धन्ये देवी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी ओम जय जय जगजननी वन्दे अमृतानंदमयी मंगल आरती माता भवानी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता जय बोलो सद्गुरु माता अमृतानंदमयी देवी की असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम शांति 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 ओम लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु